All right, so while we're getting the monitor out, a little bit about our presenter, who's coming to us from India. She's faculty in the Department of Education at the University of Lucknow. She specializes in ICT-enabled education and educational technology. She has written and edited about 24 books and has produced more than 70 research papers in the field of education. She has been invited to many universities, colleges, and institutions in India, Europe, Canada, South Africa, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Myanmar. She has a good command of computer education and technology, and she has also developed many open educational resources, e-content, educational videos for teachers and for students. She has also presented here at NMVC a number of times. She will be presenting at the VW MOOC 25 as well. And she also has presented at the CO25 and at other international seminars, webinars, workshops. And she conducts online e-learning classes and gives courses. She's the founder, editor-in-chief of the Techno-Learn Journal, an international journal of educational technology.
Now, when we talk about the digital leadership, let's be clear. It is not just about adopting gadgets, software, or learning management system. It is about something that far more strategic. Why? Because digital leadership means it means what we are seeing for the future, means our vision about the transformation in the field of digitalization, a transformation that touches every aspect of our educational ecosystem. So what does this look like in practice when we are talking about the digital leadership? So it's a proactive and future-focused approach. Means digital leaders are those who rethink how institutions operate. Here we can see in the slide that first is administratively, means how systems and decision-making processes are designed. Pedagogically, how teaching and learning are redefined in the digital age, and culturally, how values and attitudes and beliefs around technology evolve within the institution. So a true digital leaders goes beyond all these basic operations, means they reshape mindsets, reform outdated policies, reimagine pedagogies, and reconfigure the infrastructure, all to prepare for the demand of a digitally empowered society. So let's also not forget, this is not just about the technology for technology's sake. This is something else. This is something we need to understand. Now we can see what we are doing. What we are doing means how all these things are, how we are doing all these things. And now see what exactly we are doing means at the heart of it, digital leadership is about using technology meaningfully to build learning environments that are engaging, inclusive, equitable, and capable of producing high impact educational experiences. That is why it is very important. Now see, in essence, digital leadership sits at the intersection. Intersection means how we are doing all these things. How means it involves several key roles. Several key roles means setting a bold, compelling vision for the digital transformation and designing strategic implementation plans that align with the institutional goal, and creating a culture of continuous learning and experimentation also, whatever we do in our classrooms or in our education system also, that is very important. And critically, if we will see the upholding ethics and accessibility and sustainability in every digital enhances. So digital leaders are not just techno savvy, means they are something else, and they are we are talking about something else also. Now you can see that when we are talking about the digital leadership, it means very, very important aspects are there, like they inspire others also, they empower their team also, and most importantly, they guide their institutions through the complexities of the technological change, always ensuring that these changes serve the broader mission of the holistic and human-centered education. So as we move forward in the digital age, let us ask one thing, that is, are we simply using technology, or are we leading with it? Now, again, I'm repeating this particular question. Are we simply using technology, or are we leading with it? So we need to think about all these things, that exactly when we are trying to know about the digital leadership, now what is it? So let us now take a closer look at a term that is becoming increasingly central to conversations about the future of education, that is digital leadership. Means, so what we mean by the digital leadership, specifically in context of education, it means digital leadership refers to the visionary and strategic use of digital technologies by the educational leaders. And who are educational leaders? Maybe you, maybe me, maybe some other, those who are related to the educational institution. So this includes principals, administrators, teachers, and even policy makers also. But let me be very clear that this is not just about the using computers in the classroom or adopting e-learning platforms. It goes far beyond that. Means digital leadership is about transforming teaching, learning, and institutional management in a way that align technological usage with the core values and goals of the education. That is very, very important to know. So think of it as a systematic change, that how this change is happening, change that affect how a school operates or educational institution operates, how learning is delivered, and how students and teachers interact with a digitally empowered system. So in this, basically, we see these things in a very, very, uh, when we see these things, means a digital leader, who is digital leader? If someone raises this question, actually, who is digital leader? Means those who can navigate the complexities of the digital age with clarity and purpose. Whenever you are going into the classroom, or you are using these technologies for educational management and for other things also. So make informed decision about how technology can improve learning outcomes and students' engagement, and that digital leaders streamline school operations using smart tools and other platforms also, and cultivate a culture of innovation where continuous learning and improvements are not just encouraged but expected also. Means everyone has to do, and everyone has to be clear in his or her mind. So here it is very important that digital leadership also means fostering 21st century skills. And whenever we are talking about the 21st century skills, it means we are including digital literacy, critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and not just we are including these things, but what we are doing here, something equally critical and equally very important, to include ethical and inclusive leadership also. Means a true digital leader always ensures that access to digital tools is equitable for all, and students' data is protected. This also always, this digital teacher always ensures that students' data is protected, and that everyone, every student, every teacher, educator alike, all are equal and are guided to become responsible digital citizens. So what makes digital leadership unique is that it blends three key domains. First is pedagogical expertise, second is technological fluency, and third is administrative insight. So it's not just about knowing how technology works, it's about knowing how to make it work for education. Once again, I'm repeating it, that it is about knowing how to make it work for the education. Ultimately, digital leadership is a catalyst for the educational transformation. It enables us to move beyond outdated, rigid structures and towards learning environment that are flexible, adaptive, student-centered, and responsive to evolving the needs of our global technology-driven society. So as we reflect on the role of digital leadership, let us know or let us ask ourselves, again, I'm telling you some questions we should ask ourselves. Are we using technology simply to keep up, or are we using it to lead the way towards a more empowered, ethical, and future-ready educational system? We need to ask ourselves, we need to ask with our colleagues that why we are using all these technologies. So now that we have explored what digital leadership is and why it matters, so let's talk about the various key characteristics of digital leadership, that why we need to talk about what are the key components. So digital leadership is not just about knowing how to use technology. Again, I'll tell you that it is about leading with purpose. Leading with purpose, leading with vision, leading with strategy. It calls for a unique combination of the skills, mindsets, and long-term planning abilities that go far beyond basic technological adoption. So let me walk you through some of the key characteristics that mark effective digital leaders, starting with one of the most fundamental, that is first one is visionary thinking. Visionary thinking means here at the heart of the digital leadership, it lies visionary thinking means a digital leader is not content with the solving today's problem. They are looking ahead. They ask, where is the education going in the next 5 or 10 years? This question is in general, because digital leader is always visionary. That is why he or she always focuses on the future. Means, where is the education going in the next 5 or 10 years? What skills will our students need? And how can we future-proof our schools? So here, visionary thinking means anticipating trends like artificial intelligence in learning, virtual and augmented reality tools, or adaptive learning platform. So envisioning how these technologies can enhance, all these things will not replace our pedagogy, but it will encourage that what type of pedagogy we should adopt. She always see on that what is the vision for the future. And most importantly, if we will see that aligning this vision with the core mission of education means to foster growth, creativity, and inclusion and excellence in education. So this kind of thinking does not happen in isolation. And a digital leader communicates this vision effectively with whom? With other teachers, with students, with parents, and with policymakers to really around a shared goal. So he or she always focuses on the basic goals of the education, and then he talk or he inspires others also in viewing the future vision. So let me give you one practical example related to the visionary thinking. Means just imagine a school principal who leads the development of a 5-year digital transformation roadmap. And this roadmap does not just list which gadgets to buy. It lays out a strategy that integrates. What integrates means sustainable practices like energy efficient devices and digital waste management. He or she can vision about all these things. Then digital leader can imagine about innovate approaches like blended and flipped classroom. Also imagine about the personalized learning path that adapt to individual students' needs. So this is visionary thinking in action. And it is thoughtful also. It's strategic also. And most of all, it is very, very inspiring also. So as we continue, we will explore what other equally important traits such as ethical responsibility, collaborative mindset, and capacity building skills. But always remember that vision is the foundation. Whatever in next key characteristics we will see. Now, before that, we should focus on this particular key component, that vision is the foundation. Without it, digital initiatives become fragmented, reactive, and ultimately ineffective. That is why, first of all, we need to focus on this visionary thinking. Then, after this, important is pedagogical innovation. Pedagogical innovation means, now see, because this is also one of the key components of the effective digital leadership. And if visionary thinking gives us the direction, pedagogical innovation gives us the method, that what type of method we should use, we should adopt. In today's classroom, simply using technology to replace a blackboard or deliver content online is not enough. True digital leaders understand that technology must be used to transform teaching and learning, not just digitize the old methods like lecture method or traditional method. So what do we mean by the pedagogical innovation? We need to think about it. Means, what is pedagogical innovation? Pedagogical innovation is rethinking how we teach, redesigning our learning experiences, and reshaping the role of a student from passive recipient to active and engaged learner. So a digital leader actively promotes teaching models. That means, first, if you will see that, flip the classroom, where students first explore the content at home and then apply it in the class through discussion and problem solving. They use blended learning also, a thoughtful combination of face-to-face and online instruction. And also encourage game-based learning to build motivation and skills, and support inquiry-based digital projects where students research, collaborate, and create using digital tools. So the focus here is on making learning dynamic, student-centered, and meaningful. Now, again, I would like to add one example here. Now, just imagine a principal or academic coordinator who encourages teachers in the science and geography department to use virtual labs or simulation instead of just reading about a chemical reactions or a volcano eruption. Students interact with models, conduct virtual experiments, and analyze results in real time. So all these things, generally when they will go for all these things, this does two things. Especially it enhances the conceptual understanding, especially for abstract or complex topics, and also it stimulates curiosity and critical thinking, turning learning into an active and explorative process. So this pedagogical innovation in action, not just using technology to teach, but using it to empower students to think, question, and create. So digital leaders is not enough to provide the devices or software. The real impact lies in supporting teachers, offering professional development, and creating a culture where innovations in pedagogy is just only accepted, but also celebrated in the classroom. Now, our next point here, which I would like to mention here, that is data informed. That is data informed decision making. Means we have discussed about the visionary thinking and pedagogical innovation as foundational traits of digital leadership. Now let's turn to another crucial and increasingly powerful characteristic, that is data informed decision making. Because in the digital age, data is not just a byproduct of the educational activity. It is a powerful resource for strategic leadership. And how it is means, if we can ask question that what does data informed decision making mean? Means as educational leaders, we are constantly making decisions about teaching strategies, curriculum planning, student support, resource allocation, and institutional growth. Data informed leadership means making these decisions based on evidence, not on assumptions. So today in digital tools such as LMS, means learning management system, or student information system, and online assessment platforms generate a wealth of data. Means when all these things used thoughtfully, this data can identify learning gaps very soon. Learning gaps. It monitor students' progress in real time and support personalized instruction also, and even streamline administrative functions for the better school management. And now see, with the rise of AI-driven analytics, we have access to predictive insights and automated feedback system also that can help educators respond immediately and meaningfully to the students' need. Again, I'll tell you one example here. Means just you can imagine a school leader who reviews students' engagement metrics from the LMS, and they notice that participation drops after first 20 minutes of online lesson, or that students are struggling with a particular concept. So what does a digital leader do? Means now here digital leader will have a very important role. Means when they will see these kind of examples or these kinds of scenario in their classroom, now in their online classroom, then now he can recognize, he or she can, they can act. Means now they can redesign the lesson to the more interactive. They can offer supplementary material to address that concept and reach out to teachers or students for targeted intervention. So this is all not a guesswork. Why? Because this is data-informed leadership, responsive, precise, and impactful. So digital leaders must foster a data literate culture within their institution. And they should train their staff to interpret and act on data also, and ensure data is used ethically and sensitively. So all these are the very, very important roles of the digital leader. Now, next point is equity and accessibility. Because we have already discussed about the few points which were related to the visionary thinking, pedagogical innovations, and data-informed decision. Now see, I am going to talk about this particular equity and accessibility. Because in a world where digital tools are becoming central to the education, and the digital device is a very real and pressing concern. While some students have high-speed internet, personal laptops, and tech-savvy homes, others may lack even the most basic access. So digital leadership must rise to these challenges also. Means a true digital leader does not just roll out the technology. They ensure that every learner, regardless of their background or location or gender or ability, has the equal opportunity to benefit from it. So this means asking important, we can even ask ourselves or to our colleagues that do all students have access to devices? Or is the internet reliable and affordable for everyone, for every student? Are digital platforms accessible to students with disabilities? Are we designing learning experiences that include and support all learners? So what does equity and accessibility look like in action when we ask these questions to ourselves? So again, one example, suppose just you can, if a school leader notices that some students are unable to attend online classes regularly, not because of the lack of interest, but due to poor internet connectivity or the absence of personal devices. What does the leader do? What he will do? Now, here the role of a leader is very, very important. How it is important? Means they implement a device lending program for the students in need. They also provide offline content on USB drives or printed learning packets, or ensuring that learning continues even in low-tech environment. So in doing so, they are not just reacting to a problem, they are proactively building a culture of inclusion. So this is very, very important, that how they are creating an
Excuse
environment
me,
of
Dr.
inclusion.
Kiran, I just want to remind you that your time was up 5 minutes ago. If you
Okay.
could wrap up, please, so we can have our
Okay,
next
I'll wind
presenter.
up within
Thank you.
5 minutes. Okay, so as a digital leader, we should go beyond all these devices. Means a broader view of accessibility, equity also means considering students with diverse learning needs also. Now, next point, if we will focus on, because I just would like to focus on the very important points, that how we can work on it. So next very important point is digital leadership. And in digital leadership, this is also one of the very important component. In a simple term, digital leadership refers to the responsible, safe, and ethical use of technology. But in practice, it is much more than that. Means digital leaders must ensure that students, teachers, and even parents are equipped with the knowledge and attitudes needed to navigate the digital world safely, interact respectfully and responsibly online, and understand their rights and duties as digital citizens. So in today's hyper-connected world, students are not just consumers of the information, they are creators, they are collaborators, they are the digital participant. And that means they need guidance on how to behave ethically and thoughtfully online. So here, again, if we will discuss the role of a digital teacher in this aspect, so a strong digital leader does not treat digital citizenship as one-time workshop or an optional module. It is integrated into a very culture and curriculum of school. Means it includes teaching online etiquettes also, that how to communicate respectfully on digital platforms. And also digital leader educate them about the cyber safety, how to avoid phishing, online scams, and unsafe interactions. And also the digital leader also discuss about the digital rights and responsibilities, including copyright, fair use, and respecting other content. So encouraging students to think critically, especially when evaluating online information, to avoid misinformation and manipulation. So all these things are very, very important. And if we will see all these things, because time is running very fast and we have limited time to discuss or describe all these things. Now, at last, I can say that in this era where social media, AI generated content, and digital surveillance are the part of daily life, digital literacy is alone is not enough. We need digital wisdom also. We need very good digital leaders also, those who can guide how to use all these technologies. And this is where digital leadership plays a vital role, because here this is where digital leadership plays a vital role, shaping individuals who are not just tech savvy, but socially responsible and ethically grounded. So digital, if we talk about the digital leadership, or because nowadays digital leadership is not a luxury thing or a very casual thing. It is necessity now in the modern education. And as leaders, we must embed these values deeply into our institution, into our educational institutions, because at the end of the day, or the true goal of digital leadership is not just innovation, but responsible transformation that empowers learners to become ethical global citizen in a digital world. So this was all about the digital leadership. Thank you very much.